Listened to and viewed from over 95 countries from around the world, this is the GridCast, and I'm your host, Danny Cox, and with me is my co-host. He's a box owner and a grid enthusiast, and just to put on his resume, he is also the amateur guru. His name is Conan Bruce. Conan.
Because I'm the new commissioner of the Amateur Grid League, Mid-Atlantic Amateur Grid.
The Maggle.
I can't even know the name of the site.
I'm guessing it's the Maggle, right? Maggle?
Yeah, Mid-Atlantic Grid League.
Okay. So, in Quadrant 1, we're going to do a whole recap of the championship week in the NPGL out in Anaheim, California. And in Quadrant 2,
we're going to give some props where props are due.
Damn right. And then we're going to talk to the Snatch Master with the Snatch herd round the grid, Mr. Christian Harris, in Quadrant number 3.
And as he puts it down.
And we also have a big announcement for the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's going to be some changes coming up. So you're going to want to listen to Quadrant number 4 because we're going to talk some changes.
This one is brought to you by Water and Almonds. O2 and
right.
Almonds.
So let's go ahead and start the show, guys.
See.
We love to lift, laugh, and improve. This is Björk Odinsdatter.
Hey guys, we're in Quadrant 1, and let's talk about a couple things from the championship.
We actually are in Quadrant 1 on the grid here.
Hey, actually, we are. That's nice. You know, no, I don't want to move this. I don't want to move it all into the quadrants.
Hell no, don't even go there. Don't even go there.
Okay, so let's talk about a couple things that happened on the matches. So, first of all, I am the grid guru. Let's just put that out there.
Put it out there.
Do you trust the grid master or the grid guru? Because the grid guru not only won in the regular season predictions, not only won ranking the teams out there, but also predicted who was going to be in the championship match and win the championship match.
And you're also better looking.
I'm freaking hot. Yeah, well, the grid master, all it is just like this, like blackened face that you can't even see who it is.
Probably doesn't even really exist.
It probably still beats me on the look department, but that's okay.
What if he turns out to be like really hot? Are you gonna be jealous?
I might get attracted.
What if it's a girl?
I might get attracted.
What if it's a girl?
Oh,
it could be. I've voted in for that. It's because actually women are much smarter than us, so I think it could be. Well, but not smarter than you.
We just go dumb when we see women sometimes. I swear to God. See one today.
Tell us,
anyway,
Grid Guru. Tell us.
Okay, when we predicted the San Francisco Fire and Phoenix match, I predicted San Francisco Fire. I don't get things wrong too often, but this one I got wrong.
Yeah.
But you know what? I feel okay.
I hear an excuse coming.
There's definitely an excuse coming.
I hear a disclaimer, an excuse.
So, unbeknownst to us, apparently there were a lot of people throwing up and coming out of both ends of the San Francisco Fire team.
Wow, let's just put a good visual. Can we just say they were sickly?
Look, here's the thing. They all know they got hot bodies. They all know they're sexy. Sometimes I just want to put them on the level of coming out on both ends, right? It just makes them come back down to our level.
Yeah, you know what's crazy about this? So we found out like somewhere around when the match was going on or after the match. I can't remember, but I remember thinking to myself, we were in the house with them. We visited both teams, and we were around them all, and they did a very damn good job of seeming like
they were
fine.
Right.
Fine. And a lot of them were really – and, that's what happens, though, when you put a bunch of people in a house that haven't been living together, right? Think about if any of you guys been in the military or in college or whatever, like you get – we got a class going on behind us. People are running around.
No, they just want to get on TV.
They want to be famous. But, you get sick. Like if you don't know each other and you put a bunch of people – it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
And it sucks for them because – I think you called it right.
I still think I called it right.
Yeah.
I think they would have won eventually. I know Phoenix has done a lot better this year.
I think Phoenix is going to say, what?
I know. And people can argue with me about that.
But Marcus called it.
Yes, he did.
He called it.
But you saw San Francisco, they just weren't firing on all cylinders like they had before.
I was confused in that match. Watching it, particularly watching it in person, just seeing – on TV, they're cutting from different athletes to athletes. It's it's a big production. But when you're at a game, at a football game, a soccer game, a baseball game, you're at a grid match, you can look and you see all the athletes. And it's like I'm looking over at the bench and I'm like, whoa.
And with all this said, and I know I'm trying to make excuses for San Francisco, when push comes to shove.
You still won the damn bet.
Well, no. I know I still won the damn bet. When push
Where's
comes to
our
shove,
bourbon?
though,
Where's our bourbon?
when I'm saying for San Francisco, no, this is actually going towards the other side.
Okay.
You need to suck it up, Buttercup,
Ooh,
and come out there on the grid and perform, right? So, I mean,
are you saying they should have just took potty breaks during the races?
they could have just pooped right on the grid as they were going.
Oh my God.
Who cares?
Horrible.
Hey, when our team was out there this past Saturday competing in the cow competition, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had people throwing up right after the races, and actually saw one person throw up during a race.
Yeah,
and that was from our house.
That's true.
Because that's what they put out on the grid, because that's what we tell them to
Because
put
they're
out.
fearless.
Okay. The other thing the NPGL put out this week, they're asking for people to vote on the all-grid team. So I'm going to put my hat in the ring. Before I submit it online, I wanted to tell you guys who I'm picking. Okay?
Who are you picking?
Male bodyweight specialist. I'm picking Eric Cardona from the San Francisco Fire. Dude, this dude's awesome. Not only does he jump off of houses with Spider-Man suits for kids' birthday parties, the dude performs miracles out on the grid. So Eric Cardona from San Francisco Fire definitely is going to get that one from me. Female bodyweight specialist. This is going to surprise some people. Alyssa Ritchey, DC Brawlers.
Why does that surprise people? Do they know? Have they seen this little ninja?
Well, yes, they have seen this little ninja now, right? And if you see her walk on her hands, no, sorry, pause that. Run on her hands.
Yeah.
It is something special. Her and Ryan Elrod.
Yeah. She can move upside down. I'm surprised she doesn't Olympic weightlift upside down.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? And to tell you the truth, too, the reason also why I picked her as a female bodyweight specialist, because she's not just a bodyweight specialist.
Dude, a crazy weightlifter.
Yeah, she's extremely strong. She just missed Worlds by, I think it was 4 pounds. 4 pounds from making Worlds. That's pretty amazing for her bodyweight. So then you have the 2 male closers. Got to go the MVP of the league, Danny Nichols from the Phoenix Rise.
My Lord.
I'm scared. Just saying that makes me scared. Danny Nichols.
Ooh. Makes me shiver.
It does. Because you see that look in his eyes, and it's pretty scary.
It's on like a pot of neck bones.
And then, and then the other one's Tyler Cummings from the San Francisco Fire. I actually have a few San Francisco Fire people on here because I think it's well-deserved. The 2 female closers. Well, the 2 top female closers are on the DC Brawlers, Becca Day and Taylor Stallings.
Mm.
I mean, when you have the 2 top ones, you're, I don't know. They're going to be number 1 for quite a while, unless there's some trades that go on or something, which I don't see happening anytime in the near future. 2 male generalists. I have never seen such a workhorse for any other team and perform so well than Ben Sturgill from the Boston Iron.
Dude.
That dude is amazing. And then
it's well, I'm biased because he's from my home state, North Carolina. But I mean, we've seen the guy several times on TV, and I hadn't had a chance to see him and really pay attention to him in matches until they came to DC.
Yep, me too.
And we saw him play, and then when we went out to the playoffs, and I'm just telling you, like, this guy just every time you look around, he's back on the freaking grid.
Right,
he's there again.
Right,
he's doing another lift. He's doing another thing, and you're like, man, this guy just doesn't stop.
Yeah, he's amazing. And then I have Nick Uranker from Miami Surge. I know Miami didn't make it to the playoffs, and usually you stick to playoff teams.
What do we call him? The grid professor? He's got a PhD in grid.
He does have a PhD in grid. That dude, he studies the sport inside and out. I'm sure that when he retires from being a player, he'll be a coach somewhere because that dude, he knows grid.
I just hope he doesn't become an analyst.
I know, right?
I don't want him as competition.
That would suck. 2 female generalists. Sarah Beth Phillips from New York. She's my grid crush anyway, so I know she got a couple extra points because of that. But still.
You're not biased.
But that girl, I mean, she can do everything on the grid, body weight-wise, because she's a former gymnast. But then also, she is the reigning champ at the American Open in her body weight category for weightlifting. That girl's a beast. And then Whitney Gillin for Boston.
Oh, for sure. Oh, my God. Whitney is just, like, ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous. Now, I do have a couple honorable mentions. Andrew Rape, I mean, bodyweight specialist? If they had 2, I almost want to put him in there.
We actually debated, like, do we put him as a bodyweight specialist? I mean, the guy's incredible. He is, I mean, I just forgot who said it. Who said it in the press conference? Easy said, like, this guy is the future of grid. This is grid. When you get a guy that's as strong as Andrew and can move his body through space and time the way he does is freaking phenomenal.
Yeah, I don't understand how he does it. It boggles my mind sometimes.
I wish he could teach us.
Yeah, right. So Andrew definitely is an honorable mention there. It's kind of funny that I say bodyweight specialist, but actually he is.
I hope he takes that as a compliment.
Was it DC races that he actually didn't even come into the grid until race 8?
Right.
And they needed him on the Jack and Jill, and they're like, I don't want you to worn out beforehand. We're just going to put you in when the bodyweight specialists are needed.
Right.
What? That is sick. No, Andrew Rape is amazing. So definitely he's in there. And then Lindy Barber from Boston Iron. I want to put her in there as another honorable mention because I think she's a pretty amazing athlete. So anyway, in Quadrant 2, we want to talk, give some love to a team that needs a little bit of props.
Not even love, just give the devil its due, right? Let's talk about Baltimore.
Let's do that. So let's get on into Quadrant 2.
All right, here we are in Quadrant 2. So before we get into talking about Baltimore, we talk about Baltimore a lot.
We do.
Before we talk about Baltimore, let's talk about the show.
Yes. Yeah, this is important.
So we decided last year when we came into kind of the off-season after the championships, that's kind of when we kicked off.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit of a lull after the championships. So we are going to try something different this year. We're going to, I wouldn't say change the format so much as maybe dig a little deeper with our guests.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. So we always have our guests on in Quadrant 3. Every once in a while we have one for Quadrant 2 and Quadrant 3. But now what we're looking at doing is we're just going to kind of lengthen Quadrant 3.
Yep.
Right? And we're going to hang out there for a little while. We might not do all the quadrants, but what we're really going to do is sit down with athletes, sit down with coaches, sit down with folks, and kind of dig under the hood and talk to them for a little bit longer. So the show will probably be about the same amount of time.
Sure.
But we'll spend longer with the guest.
Yeah.
And we're going to see how that plays out and whether you guys like it. Come January, though, at least 2 of the amateur grid leagues are cranking off. The Northeast Grid League and the Mid-Atlantic Grid League are starting their seasons in January. Some of the other leagues might be in January, February. So we're going to have plenty to talk about.
Yep. Quadrant 2 then is going to have its play again.
Yeah, so
longer.
We'll probably go back to the regular format, but we definitely want to hear from you guys and see what you like. So anyway, expect in a few episodes or maybe the next episode, we're going to kind of switcheroo a little bit and make it look a little different. But I think you guys will like it. It'll be fun. It'll be different. It also helps us get through the holidays.
Yes, it does.
Because things get crazy for everybody during Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Hanukkah, and all the other holidays that we celebrate. Because we celebrate them all. You give us a chance to celebrate a holiday, we're in.
Well, just if you can drink beer, I think we're in, right?
I know. I drink a lot of beer during Kwanzaa.
Oh my God!
I don't know why.
Tons.
Baltimore.
For every candle.
Baltimore. Let's talk Baltimore.
Yes.
So, if you go back to episode 5, I think it is. I think it's episode 5. You'll
I feel
recall.
like we're a little closer than normal right now. I almost want to give you a hug while we do this.
I like it. It's mainly because it's kind of chilly in here.
Chilly. It's really humid in here.
It's fucking humid. So you sidetracked me.
I did.
Baltimore. So we get we I don't know if we get a lot of flack. we get a lot of hate mail from Baltimore athletes probably. No, we don't. We don't get any hate mail from them. But here's the thing. Fans definitely.
Yes, we definitely
but so here's the
do.
thing. So we've been a little hard on Baltimore. Maybe a little bit more you than me. But we've been hard on Baltimore this season. But
hurt some feelings, unfortunately.
But a lot of people think for good reason, right? So our job, whether we're playful or not about it, our job is to be analysts. Our job is to be grid analysts and kind of give, we hope, a little insight into the sport, a little inside information every once in a while. And if we're going to do that, if we're going to do it right, we can't be cheerleaders.
No.
Right? We can't. No matter how much we love a team. We have a Baltimore Anthem player in our gym, a long-term time friend of ours, right?
Absolutely. I've played on the same team as her.
Yeah, I lived in Baltimore. Okay, there's no T in Baltimore.
Yeah, you're right.
I've lived in Baltimore. I love Baltimore. Okay, so season's over.
Wife's a big Baltimore Ravens fan.
Oh, forget about it. Don't even come to my house with a Steelers jersey on.
Oh,
you're going to get cut.
Yeah,
you're going to
totally.
get cut. All right, so we are a Baltimore house. Like, I love Baltimore. Now, with that said, we had to be true to the performance throughout the season. We had to. That's what our job is.
Yeah.
Now, but let's talk about this. I'm glad the season's over. Because I feel this is my gut talking. I'm not the grid guru or anything.
Yeah,
I'm not the grid guru. Okay. I never will be. All right, I can't watch enough. Grid as much as you do. You're just a sports. Can we call you a sports nerd?
I'm obsessed.
You are fucking obsessed.
Yeah, I mean they may need a restraining order against me on the grid.
So when Garrett was on the show, he told us things that I already know because I used to live up there. Baltimore is a huge sports fan.
And he was on episode 5, right?
Episode 5. He was a huge sports fan, huge sports town.
Yes.
Right? You go to Camden Yards, go to M&T Stadium. Like, you will see the most ridiculously hardcore sports fans.
Absolutely.
So, and I'll tell you where the proof is. When Baltimore played DC, so it was Baltimore's home match. It was played right out near FedEx Field in Maryland.
Which is the DC football
Yeah, let's
team.
not even get into the Redskins.
Right.
That's a whole other topic. But look, when you went there, if you didn't see this, go back and look at the match. Though, look at the match.
Damn
The
Redskins.
seats were full.
Yes.
And the crowd was loud.
Yes.
It was crazy. We had
For
CrossFit.
Baltimore mostly.
Yeah, no, it was Baltimore,
Yeah.
hands down.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. Let's be honest.
Well, DC Brawlers have now earned the right of be the evil empire.
Right, they have.
Right? I mean,
they're going to be the
hated.
the patriots of freaking Grid.
They are.
Everybody's going to.
They are now.
Right, but Baltimore brought the love. They brought some fans to this. As soon as you saw the next match happen, not going to mention the next match, but people just dissipated. Poof, they went away.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, they were all here for Baltimore.
Yeah.
And Baltimore didn't win.
Yeah.
Right? But it didn't matter because they are sports fans. So I truly believe that Garrett has a winning formula there with particularly for the fan base, right? I think it does. Now let's talk about the athletes. Okay?
Yes.
So he got a lot of press early on for signing a bunch of big names. We can kind of compare that to LA back last year, but I don't think that Baltimore is going to end up like LA.
I don't either.
See
There's a different vibe there.
Yeah, totally different vibe. But here's the thing. So you start off with people like Elizabeth Akinwale. You get Klokoff. You get Alex Smith. You got Sarapov. I mean, it's just, Pip Malone. Boom, boom, boom. You're signing all these big names. If you're into functional fitness, you know these people. Klokoff and Sarapov, we just know who these people are, right? And we're like, oh, my God, this is going to be incredible. So you got to –
You think if I were Klokoff right now that I should have a GoPro right here while we're filming?
Oh, my God. Let me say something. If they don't outlaw that damn GoPro and make that dude learn how to play Grid, we love Klokoff. Love him.
I'm a huge fan of Klokoff.
Huge weightlifting fan.
Yeah.
But let's be real here. It's our job as analysts to say it like it is. The man don't know how to play Grid. Now, I'm saying that as a challenge because I think if you give someone like Klokoff a challenge, he will become a phenomenal Grid player, but it's his decision, right? He has got to choose, like, this is my sport.
Yeah.
I've never heard him say with heartfelt – it might just be a translation thing. I don't know because, I want to hear him say it in Russian and maybe we'll know if it's like got the – I want to hear the heartfelt, I'm a Grid player. I play Grid, and I haven't heard that.
You know what I want to see from Klokoff? I want to see him go through the ladder.
I want to see him keep his shoes
on number 7. Yes. I want to see him go through the ladder and either get through it in 45 seconds if he's not the last person, or Garrett make it a way that he has about a minute 5 to get through the ladder and still go through a ton of bars. Right? Don't go through 5 bars in a minute and 5. Get through 9, 10 bars.
The ladder is
11.
The ladder is a math game.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a math game. And
it's not about just pulling that heaviest bar. It's about getting all those other bars before
all other
that.
bars. And his setup is slow. He's a weightlifter. We got it.
Yep.
That's his sport. If Grid becomes his sport, he'll be a phenomenon. But let's move past that. So you've got give all kinds of props to Alex Smith. That kid, I hope he stays in Grid.
He's a workhorse,
He's
man.
crazy
Holy
good.
Crap.
Crazy good.
I almost should get to my list.
I know his brother won the
that's
CrossFit
right.
Games, but I hope Alec hangs around in Grid long enough to be a champion, MVP.
Yeah,
because he can do it.
He could be. Absolutely.
He absolutely can. I think Grid is his sport. I hope he can give up CrossFit and just let one guy in the house be a CrossFit Games champion and another one be a Grid champion, because I think they could do it.
Yeah.
So you got all these names, right? So you sign these names, and here's the thing.
Do you think like that would be the similar how in Thanksgiving dinner I always picture the Peyton Manning and Eli Manning sitting at a and like counting the rings,
right.
How
many rings we got?
Right. So
but we talk about the big names, right? So here's the thing is those are all individual athletes, never been on team sports. If they have been on team sports, it wasn't this team. You're asking a lot of these type of athletes to do it anyway. And every team battles these problems. But you talk about 2 people from Russia, another one from Australia that are big names, people that you want, right? Mm-hmm. How do you get them back and forth? How do you have them in for training? How do you do all this stuff? I don't even know how you do it. Lots of dollar bills. And you know what? I mean,
holy crap.
They came through, right, and they brought them in. But here's the deal. So get past that. I see Baltimore being the Boston of next season. And what I mean by that is last year, Boston losing season, right? A winless season.
Winless, yeah.
Winless season. This year makes it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I see next year Baltimore. Garrett's a smart dude. He
Absolutely.
is a smart dude.
Yes.
I see him being able to make the changes and take this team to the playoffs. Not sure if they're going to make the championships.
There's steps, right? You got to go. You got to go through your steps.
I don't quite see that, but I can see that. You know what? Here's the deal. It's not all. It is on Garrett. It's always on the coach, right? It's always on the coach.
Yes.
But if those athletes that he picked decide they want to be grid players, they want to play grid.
Yep.
They'll make it to playoffs.
Yeah. So that's the big difference, right? They need to concentrate on grid because you saw them. Like for instance, San Jose. They crushed the first 4 races in San Jose, right? You see that the talent is there. They just can't make it deep into the game. So when the match is in 8, 9, 10, 11, like in the triads, they just they fall.
And you also see the teams that have played the most, the Fire, DC. When you look at last season, because a couple, at least a match or 2 were canceled. Like there's some. If you go back and look at the schedule, you'll see that like. Certain teams have played a lot more than other teams.
Oh, yeah.
A lot more.
Yeah.
So give Baltimore some time to race a lot more, to practice a lot more. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to call it now that Baltimore is going to be in the playoffs next season. If
their teammates get into grid shape.
Well, it is for their team. You got to get the grid speed.
Yes.
Right? I mean, we talk about grid shape a lot where you're like, you've got that engine, you've got the speed, you've got the technical points, right? But it really is speed.
Yes.
Like they got to get it and keep the strength. I think
and then also get the details. Devil's in the details, right? Always. Get the details right when they're rehearsing the races beforehand. Make sure that you go through the whole match mistake-free.
What's the common thread we saw on all the teams we watched practice? What did they do well?
What do you mean?
The dance.
Oh, yeah, the dance.
The grid
Absolutely.
Dance. The grid dance.
Look, when you get to the point where you're saying during your transitions, this person goes in front and this person goes behind, right? And you're working on transitions like that.
I like watching. Again, we're going to give props to Taylor Stallings, Becca Day. So they're usually coming out strong for the partner forward, things like that. And the partner forward, one person operates while another person waits, and they switch out. And you'll see them. They're not even looking at the other player.
Right.
They're looking at the ground. They know exactly when they're coming off.
Yeah.
They're not looking to wait to go, oh, it's my turn. Like you don't ever see them go, oh. No, they don't. They go boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom. They're fucking dancing, man. Boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom. No, wrong kind of music, wrong kind of dance. No, but seriously though, if Baltimore can learn that dance and they can get the speed,
they have the players.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen. I think even if they don't reach where we want them to be, I think they're going to be there. We're making the call now, Garrett. Next year, playoffs.
Yeah. Yep. All right, so in quadrant number 3, we have Christian Harris from the DC Brawlers who hit the snatch heard around the grid.
Snatch heard around the grid.
Stay tuned for quadrant 3. Hey guys, welcome to Quadrant 3. So I am here with Christian Harris. He's the one that basically turned it around for the DC Brawlers in the championship match in race number 7. We need a 270-pound snatch that I'm calling the snatch heard around the grid. Thanks for joining us on the show, man.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, so going into that championship match, I know that there were a lot of questions about injuries for the DC Brawlers. We heard that Becca Day had some hip issues. We know that Maddie Rasnick was feeling some shoulder pain as well. Can you tell us what the mental, kind of like the mental game was for the DC Brawlers, knowing you had so many injuries going on to the championship match?
I think despite knowing those things, we still felt pretty good about our game plan. That's a match that was really built for us, especially our smaller athletes like Jess Malone, Alyssa Ritchey, Nick Del Grand, and Ryan Elrod.
Yeah.
So especially the Echoes, So it was a match that was built more for the smaller athletes and not necessarily our heavy hitters.
Well, what did it feel like after the first? I mean, you guys lost the first 3 races, and people were getting a little nervous about it. But you came through on 4, 5, 6, and 7. What was the thing that sparked the team to kind of push through on race number 4?
I felt like we just had to just keep doing our thing. I mean, if you kind of looked at us on the sideline, we never really lost our composure. We kind of kept, we stayed even, I would say. We never got too high, never got too low. And that kind of, we knew we would have our chance to strike, and we did in race 4.
In race number 4. So when it came down to the ladder, and it was crazy because from the sidelines, we're looking at it going 800 pounds before you even start the ladder. And there's also someone else, I can't remember who for Phoenix, who was on the ladder at the time. I was like, he's got to make up 800 pounds at least in this 1 minute left or so for the snatch ladder. What was going on through your head as you're going down the race number 7?
Just to kind of hit all my bars. We practiced that ladder, I think, 3 or 4 times throughout the 2 weeks, and I didn't really do too great. I missed the 255 bar, I think, pretty much every time except for once. Never touched the 270 bar, and I also started 3 bars into it.
So in practice, you never hit the 270 bar?
No.
Well, talk about being clutch. Damn, because that from the sidelines was an amazing moment because there was no response that Phoenix could have given because you hit it with 1 second left and you won by, I think, 135 pounds and was able to pull the 3 points for the team right there. 2 points for the total. The girls already had it.
It's cutting it pretty close.
Yeah, I was cutting it pretty close. Now, Collar was telling you to slow down before you got to that 270 bar.
Yeah.
Tell me the emotions that were going on through you right before you hit that bar. Did you know where the score was?
No, I had no idea what the score was. All I knew is that I had plenty of time, which was kind of the plan. Everybody that went before me, the rest of the team, they got through their bars really fast. So that left me about 1 minute and 5, I believe.
Yeah.
Which was more than enough time. The game plan when we would run them in practice was about 45 seconds to hit the 3rd bar in to about 255. So I knew with an extra 20 seconds, those first 3 bars are a piece of cake.
I think everybody lost their shit when you hit that 270, and including me, because I have to say, you won me a 10-year bottle of bourbon.
Oh, wow.
Off of that one, because that is the moment that everything changed for DC. I mean, I know that they won races 4, 5, and 6, right? But that moment was so epic, and I think that it really gelled everything together. Who I thought was the Gridmaster, and I still think he was the Gridmaster. I had never got any real confirmation. I wrote down on a piece of paper, and I said, because we had a bet this whole season long, right? Who would take on the championships and who would get the predictions the best. And I've always said the Brawlers are going to take on the championships before even the first match started. So I wrote down on a little napkin.
Well, thank you for that.
No problem. I wrote down a little napkin that said, I prefer 10-year bullet bourbon, thanks. Smooches, and then I handed it right to who we thought's the Gridmaster. Haven't received it yet, but I know it's coming. I already got word that it's coming.
Awesome.
So thank you for hitting that. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you for putting your faith in me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, okay, so then let's go through races 8, and then there's the triads. And then we heard later on that you hurt your lat on the triads. Can you take us through what happened?
I was actually hurt going into the match.
Really?
I had heard it the day after Everest. We were doing a run through of Amazon, and I was testing out butterfly muscle ups.
Okay.
And just kind of caught one a little funny, and I felt a tweak in what is my lat subscap region.
Okay.
So I didn't really do much up until the day of the match.
So let's recap that here. So that means in practices when you did race 7, you never hit the 270-pound bar, and the day after Everest is the time that you actually hurt your lat and scap.
Yeah.
That makes that 270-pound snatch even that much more epic. But go ahead, Mr. Move Fast, Lift Heavy.
So in that race, I was actually supposed to do double touches in the echoes,
right,
and muscle ups in race 8, which I got taken off of. But we never really ran a game plan that didn't have me on the chest to bar pull-ups and the rope climbs. So I kind of just had to go out there and see what I could do, and it didn't go well. I did 5 pull-ups, and then I came right off the bar. Felt it kind of zing a little bit. So I think Ken came in, finished up the rest of my pull-ups. Then I came back out, contributed what I could on the freestanding handstand push-ups, and then on the rope climb I tried one, and then on the way down I just felt something
give.
not good.
Oh, that's no bueno. And I know that the Brawlers are missing you in race number 11 because I'm sure you're supposed to hit those matches at the end there.
Yeah, that was supposed to be my gig, but I mean,
it was already won. Didn't matter.
Thank goodness we had it wrapped up at that point. It would have really put a damper on things. Having to watch that and not being able to contribute. So,
were you on the bench at the time watching, or were you in the back getting worked on?
I was getting worked on pretty much throughout race 10, and then right before race 11, I tried to see if I could snatch. Started warming it up a little bit. Couldn't really pick up a barbell, so I knew that wasn't going to happen. So I tried to see if I could contribute to any other element in race 11. I tried to see if I could pick up the flipper, which I couldn't. And I tried.
It's okay. I make that problem too, calling it a pig.
Okay.
It's definitely the flipper, but yeah, it's like flipper.
Yeah. And then I tried to pick up the wall ball, and I couldn't do that either. It was just so inflamed at that point. So.
Okay, so then when race 11 was happening, though, and it was the very end, were you able to celebrate with the team, or were you in the back?
Oh, absolutely.
At the time?
No,
okay.
We were celebrating.
Now, were you high-fiving just as excited as you normally would have been, even though you were injured, or were you feeling a little like, damn it, I'm injured, and yes, we won, awesome, but God, this sucks because I hurt?
Nah, I mean...
You able to celebrate?
Definitely able to celebrate. We had a good time that night.
That's awesome, man. Well, congratulations on winning the championship match.
Thank you so much.
I really do think that snatch needs to be deemed the term snatch heard around the grid, because that was something special to watch and gave me goosebumps. A lot of people at home, at our home gym that you guys know where we are, basically your house, they were high-fiving each other, and my phone blew up right when it happened, too, because people were texting all over the place.
Saying I walked into a bunch of text messages. And
I bet you did. Man. Well, congratulations. Thanks for joining us on the show, and good luck on the off season. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, man. Bye.
Guys.
I just want to point out that Danny, you wearing the hell out of that that soap shirt, man.
Okay, let's be honest.
Are they a new sponsor I didn't know about?
Look, okay, let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
It's the last clean shirt I had.
Oh, clean Snatch soap.
It's perfect.
That's right. It stays clean.
We tied it in because Christian Harris was on the show, and he's a part owner.
Abso-smurfly.
So, oh, well. All right, guys. So remember that we got a little bit of change coming up pretty soon on the show. We also want to thank Christian Harris for joining us on the show in quadrant number 3. And I can't wait to see what next season is going to bring. I can't wait for the amateur seasons.
I tell you what I want. I want all y'all to subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, like us on Instagram.
We, of course, waited to Quadrant 4 to do that again. God dang it.
All right, guys. Until then.
Till next time, guys, clean up your jerks and snatches, drink your beer in batches, and always dominate your grid matches. See you next time, guys.
See ya.